Hi Viola Kingdom, I'm James, and today I want to share with you some really cool sounds you can make on a viola using extended techniques. The first one I want to talk about is finger tapping. Basically, what you do is you just slam your left hand fingers down on the string. And it makes a very audible pitch. If I was performing in front of an audience, the audience would be able to hear it. This works best on the lower two strings, but it also does work on the top two strings. It's just a bit quieter. And finger tapping does have a very clear percussive element to it, which makes it pair very well with the next technique, which is using the viola as a percussion instrument. So the first way I like to do this is by slapping the strings in fingerboard. It's a very crisp sound in my opinion. If you combine this with the finger tapping technique, then it's something like this. You got a nice groove going there already. Another part of the viola you can use to create percussion is the chin rest. You can use one finger, two fingers, or your knuckles, and each one has a different timbre. I've definitely used this in my covers in the past. We're bringing the bow in for the next few techniques. Most people know about regular harmonics. That's a natural harmonic. If I put down a 1 and a 4, that's an artificial harmonic. However, there's still quite a few more harmonics to explore. The first one is a sympathetic harmonic, or as I like to call them, a ghost harmonic. Basically, if you play an open string, tap your finger lightly in the place where that note sounds in a different octave, and you faintly hear the same pitch. And in my experience, this is actually still audible if you're performing in front of an audience. To me, that one sounds really beautiful. The next kind of harmonic sounds terrible. This is a sub-harmonic. Basically what you do is you apply a lot of pressure and not a lot of bow speed. It's really hard to get right, but when you do get it right, it sounds amazing. I got it there for a second. Yeah, it's really hard to maintain. That was a pretty good one. If you use that sort of sub-harmonic technique, but a lot more subtly, then you can create a quasi-vibrato effect using just your bow, or bow vibrato. I have actually seen a few professional violists use this technique, including Lawrence Power. It was actually used a lot more frequently back in the Baroque era, before left-hand vibrato became the default. Instead of using that technique subtly, if you take it in the opposite direction and make it extreme, you get this amazing growl sound. By using a lot of pressure and barely moving your bow, it's really nasty. It literally sounds like you're drilling into a wall. I saw this technique used in a quartet I was playing a few months ago. But that's the only time I've ever seen it, and I think it's really cool. Unfortunately, it does have the potential to destroy your strings and your bow hairs, so if you use it, then use it sparingly. Moving on to another technique that strives for the gnarly. Last week I posted a video where my G string was very frayed. It just keeps buzzing. I figured out there are two ways to recreate that buzz sound. One is by placing your mute all the way by the tailpiece and turning it on its side. You can hear it definitely makes a nice buzz sound, although you do need to hold it more this way than this way, otherwise it'll start traveling as you pitch it. You can get a sharper version of that sound by putting your nail right by the string that you're plucking. You can get different levels of the sharpness too. Credit to my friend Isaac for telling me about that technique. These final two techniques explore new dimensions of pitch on the viola. When most composers write legno, they're not aware that legno in itself creates its own pitch. For example, when I play, you'll hear my open strings, but you'll also hear a higher pitch coming from the legno. You can control that pitch by adjusting your contact points. Closer to the bridge, it's higher, and as you go down, it gradually goes lower. I wish more composers were aware of this technique because in an entire string section or orchestra, it would sound so amazing. Onto our final technique, and this one to me is the most mind-blowing. I actually just discovered it last night. Basically, normally when we play pizzicato, we play on this side of our left hand finger. But you can also play on this side. And you can also play both at once. But even better, if you drag your finger down on the string while plucking both sides of it, it creates an omnibus sequence. So you can play 2 notes on 1 string at the same time. With 4 strings, you can technically play 8 notes. It's just extremely hard to do. But here's how to do it. You put your thumb across the fingerboard. You have to squeeze pretty hard. Then you use your index finger and the thumb. The more space you can get from your thumb, the better it's going to sound. So the lower section is, the higher section is, and all at once, it's like this crazy cluster chord. But it is 8 notes at once on a 4-stringed instrument, which is pretty amazing. I figured this out just experimenting with my viola last night, and I was so excited about it that I just had to share it with you too. So I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. See you next time.